Hi M2, hope you are all feeling well. This is just a quick introduction to the tasks you are going to do this week. The tasks have been put on Google Classroom and there are two. One of them is a BrainPop assignment and the other one is an experiment I would like you to do while you are at home. First, regarding the BrainPop assignment, then you need to sign in to BrainPop. There's a link down here. And then you should have an assignment called Acids and Bases. And what you should do is watch the movie, then do the movie quiz. Then there's a worksheet that you have to do as well. And finally, there's some related reading you should do. And regarding the related reading, then on this assignment on Google Classroom, there is a small quiz you have to do when you're done with the BrainPop, which is related to the related reading section. When you're done with the BrainPop, you should start to look at the other task, which is the experiment. And the experiment is quite simple, actually. It's about putting an egg into different kinds of liquids, and if possible, and if you have it at home, you should try to put it in vinegar, orange juice, and if you've got some soda, a cola for example, and then leave it in the liquids for a couple of days and observe what happens. If you don't have any vinegar or something, you can replace, for example, vinegar with acetic acids and other kinds of soda or juice if you have them. Of course, if you don't have any eggs and you can't get them within the week, then it'll be a little bit hard to do the experiment. But even though you don't do the experiment, you must still start or make parts of the lab report. The lab report, I've made a template that hopefully will make it a little bit easier for you. It's made in Google Slides. And well, what you have to do is just fill out the blanks, so to say. So the first part is a little bit of background research, where you need to figure out what substances actually an eggshell made out of, and are any of the liquids that you put it into acidic, and how do they react to eggshells. Then you have to identify the variables. I have already put in the text for the independent variables, so you just need to do the dependent and controlled variables. Then you must make a prediction. What do you think will happen, and why do you think it will happen? And the why you can relate to the background research you have done. Then you need to describe how you set up the experiment, and I would strongly suggest you take a photo, put it in, and add annotations, and make a list of the materials you have used. Then you should describe the method as a step-by-step method, and put in if you think there are any safety issues. There might be, at least if you use the acetic acids. The results could be a good idea to put in a picture and then add a little bit of text to each picture. It could be of each of the eggs you have used. Then you must look at the results. What do they tell you, and what can you conclude by looking at these? And finally, you have to evaluate the results. Can you actually trust the conclusions you made? And improvements and extensions. What other experiments could you do? And if there has been some errors in your setup, then how could you do it differently? It should all be explained in here. But if you have questions, then remember that we got our small team set up on Microsoft Teams. And I can see Dicte has already signed in here, and hopefully the rest of you will sign in as well, because then we'll use this for communication. And we can maybe also make a small video conference if you need it. Please let me know if you don't have any eggs at home or are not able to do the experiment, because then I would need to find some extra work for you to do while the others do the experiment and make the entire lab report. I haven't set a due date for the lab report because I will see how far you get by Friday. So by the end of Friday, please just put in as much as you can in the lab reports. Remember, you got in total 4 lessons, and that's how many hours is that? That's 3 hours in total. So you shouldn't spend more than 3 hours on the BrainPop and carrying out the experiment, and then time you have left, use that on the lab report. And then I'll check back with you on Friday to see how far you are, or when you're done. Whatever, depending on what you hand in on Friday, I will set the due date for the entire lab report. So again, remember, it's not supposed to be finished by Friday. Yeah, have fun, and hope to see you on Google Teams for chats tomorrow. Bye.